I let my best friend live in my empty apartment for free for 6 months so he could save money, but it ended up destroying our friendship. About a year ago, my grandmother passed away and left me her small one-bedroom apartment. I was already living in my own place, so the apartment was sitting completely empty. Around the same time, my best friend of 10 years, Mike, hit a really rough patch. He lost his job, was drowning in debt, and was about to get evicted from his place. Because he was like a brother to me, I wanted to help him get back on his feet. I told Mike he could live in my grandmother's apartment completely rent-free for 6 months. The only condition we agreed on was that he would look after the place, keep it clean, and pay for his own utilities like electricity and internet. Mike was practically in tears. He hugged me, thanked me a million times, and promised that he would use this time to work hard, save every dollar, and pay off his debts. For the first few months, everything seemed fine. Mike found a new job, and whenever I asked how things were going, he told me he was doing great and saving tons of money. Because I wanted to give him his privacy, I never actually visited the apartment. I trusted him completely. That was my biggest mistake. As the 6-month mark approached, I gently texted Mike to remind him that the lease agreement was coming to an end and that I was planning to put the agreement up for rent to regular tenants. Mike's tone completely changed. He became incredibly cold and started dodging my calls. Finally, when the official move-out day arrived, I drove over to the apartment to collect the keys. When I opened the front door, the smell hit me like a wall. It smelled like a rotten foot, stale smoke, and garbage. I walked inside and my jaw literally dropped. The apartment was completely destroyed. The beautiful hardwood floors were deeply scratched and covered in mysterious sticky stains. There were piles of dirty dishes in the kitchen that looked like they had been sitting there for weeks, covered in mold. The living room walls had holes in them, and my grandmother's vintage sofa was torn to shreds, covered in cigarette burns. It looked like he had been hosting wild parties there every single weekend. To make matters even worse, I opened the email drawer and found a stack of final notice warnings. Mike hadn't paid a single utility bill the entire time he lived there. He left me with thousands of dollars in unpaid electricity, water, and internet bills. I called Mike immediately, completely furious, demanding an explanation. Instead of apologizing, he got defensive and started screaming at me. He called me a selfish, greedy capitalist. He said that since I inherited the apartment for free, I didn't need the money anyway, and that kicking a struggling friend out onto the street proved that I never cared about him. He accused me of ruining his life as he was starting to get back on his feet. I hung up on him completely heartbroken. I had to spend a huge chunk of my own savings just to repair the damage and pay off his massive bills. When I told our mutual friends what happened, some of them actually took Mike's side. They said that family and friends are more important than property, and that I should have given him more time because the housing market is tough right now. I have completely blocked Mike and cut him out of my life, but the whole situation has left me feeling incredibly betrayed.